Hola, hola, welcome back to my channel. Stephanie here, aka The Viatrix. And this week I thought it would be fun to do a quick little reaction video to the New York Times 52 places list, which came out last week. It actually came out the same day that I released my list of the top places to go in 2024. And if you're interested in checking that out, you can click the link in the description below. But in case you're not familiar, the New York Times releases this list every year, and it's always really fun to see where they pick and check out their really beautiful images. So I thought it'd be fun to do it together. So let's dive in. Okay, so here we are on the 52 Places home screen. And as I said, of course, lots of beautiful images, as always. So scrolling through, the first one that caught my eye is Paris. This is on a lot of lists this year, including my own because of the Olympics, which Paris is hosting this year. So it's going to be a great year to be in Paris because of the games. There's lots of new hotels, new infrastructure, new museums and exhibitions, and lots of cool things to do. So a great year to visit. So let's see, what else have we got? So the next one that caught my eye was Yamaguchi in Japan. I thought this was an interesting choice. Definitely somewhere more off the beaten path. It's quite a bit farther south than Kyoto. It's still on the main island of Honshu, but it's down in the south. So it's definitely going to be more off the beaten track, but that's exactly why they said that they chose it. So could be a good option if you're looking for something a little quieter in Japan. So let's see, New Zealand was on quite a few lists this year. So the next one that caught my eye was, of course, Maui. If you know me, you know I absolutely love Hawaii. I was in Maui just a couple of years ago and was devastated when I heard about the fires in Lahaina. So I love that they included Maui on the list. I think it is a great time to go back, support the local economy. Tourism is so important to them. And there's still so much to see on the island, so it's definitely still worth the trip. Let's see, Grand Canyon, Singapore. So Singapore caught my eye. It's a city that I have arranged many trips to, but I've never been to, and it looks so cool. There's a ton to do, interesting history, amazing food. I just really want to go and eat. They've mentioned a couple of new airports and expansion at the airport, which is already a huge airport, but that's probably going to mean a lot more flight options. So that's all pretty exciting. Chile, always great. Ladakh, this is up in the Himalayas in India, and it does look incredible. Geneva. So now this one really caught my eye because basically they've opened up a way for people to visit the CERN particle accelerator, which I think would be so cool. I mean, just this image is incredible. So I think it's just such a cool thing to do. There's plenty to do in that part of Switzerland already, and it's just one more on the list. It looks really great. Dominica, Manchester. So Craters of the Moon, I was so excited to see this on the list. It's such a cool place. I was here in 2019. The last time I was here, I drove from Yellowstone over to visit family in Boise, and we stopped at Craters of the Moon on the way, and it really is cool. It's such an apt name. It's really volcanic. It's kind of barren. I mean, it's really in the middle of Idaho, so it's a bit of a trek depending on where you are, but it's absolutely worthwhile. So continuing on, we've got Baltimore, Bolivia. So Sri Lanka is another place that jumped out at me. I'm so happy to see this on the list. I actually saw Sri Lanka on several lists this year, which is great. I haven't been, but I have arranged many trips, and it's so high on my list because it offers a little bit of everything. You've got beaches, you've got culture, great food, there's ruins, there's safari, there's colonial history and the tea plantations in the highlands. I mean, it looks incredible. But they've had some economic issues for a couple of years coming out of the pandemic. But they seem to have moved through that, which is so exciting, and I'm so happy to see it on the list. Italy is always on a lot of lists. Wales, it's a great picture. So Morocco, another one on the list because of recovery efforts. Morocco suffered an earthquake last year, and you know, tourism really does help local economies so much when it's good tourism. So I've really only been to Tangier, and doing a good in-depth tour of Morocco has been on my list for so long. So I love that this one's here too. It's another place that offers a little something for everyone, and I think it's totally would be a great place to visit this year. So Valencia, I thought was another kind of a cool choice. I love Valencia. It's a great mix of old and new, and they've got a new contemporary art museum that looks pretty interesting. So yeah, you can go for medieval architecture and also get some, hyper contemporary Calatrava stuff too at the Arts and Sciences Center. It's a great city. We've got Kansas City, Madagascar. This one kind of stood out to me. Just looks super modern. Yucatan Peninsula. Again, this one really was exciting for me. If you know me, again, you know that I love Mexico, and I'm actually going to the Yucatan Peninsula myself in February. It's just a quick trip, but I'm excited. I haven't been in quite a while. But the Times is particularly calling out a train that connects the Yucatan to Campeche and Palenque and some of these other areas where you can see incredible ruins. So they're a little bit more remote parts of Mexico. So this is super exciting to me. These are some places that have been on my list for sure. Let's see, Indonesia, Kazakhstan. I mean, this whole part of Asia, Central Asia, I definitely want to get to. Quito, great city. I'm going to keep moving on for today. Alabama, Tasmania. Let's see. Savo in Kenya. Brasilia. I do want to go here for architecture. I'm psyched about that. El Salvador. So Coke-Hair is a cool suggestion. I'm very excited about this. So I, if you don't know, spent my honeymoon in Cambodia. This is many years ago now, but Coke-Hair, it's sort of north of Angkor and the main temples that most people go to visit, Angkor Wat and that area. It's quite a bit farther north. It's fairly remote, but it looks super cool. So I didn't get to go here, but it's exciting that it looks like it's opening up. I think this would be the coolest thing to go see. Yeah, I would love it. Oh yeah, the Puffin Colony in Iceland. South part of Iceland looks super cool. Some good stuff on here. Vienna. Come on, ads. Brisbane, Pasadena, great little day excursion from Los Angeles for sure. Snorkeling in Egypt, yes. Thessaloniki, Normandy, Grenada, Costa Rica, always love, always recommend. This picture, wow, it makes me want to go. Totally incredible. Yukon. So Peru, another favorite destination of mine, and one that I highly recommend. And the New York Times is reporting on a new, well, not new, but a sort of newly interesting or newly accessible, let's say, Inca site, which looks super cool. I mean, just this photo is awesome. It's quite remote though. It says it's a 3 or 4 day trek to get there. So that would be similar to doing the Inca Trail if you were doing the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. But of course, for Machu Picchu, you don't have to trek. You can take a train. So that's definitely a big benefit there. But if you want to trek, this looks pretty awesome. Dresden. And then finally, the Monarch Butterfly Preserve. On my last trip to Mexico, I was not too far from here. It was just a little bit out of the way for us to include it on our trip. But this is definitely something I'm really interested in. If you go the right time of year, you just see millions and millions of these monarch butterflies. It looks so cool. So someday, I'm definitely going to do that. And the last one is Florida. So that's it for the list. Super cool, always fun to see, as I said, and I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely go check out the link in the description box below for my list of my top 10 places to visit in 2024, and I would love to hear from you. What places stood out? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And especially, I'd love to know what's on your list for this year. Is there anywhere that you're dreaming of or that you have planned for this year? Comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for this week, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao for now.